Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Career Mode, episode number 83. We get into that middle part of the season, near the end of April. Classic season, just about done. It's almost time for the Giro. Just a couple more races between us and that. Next up, Liège-Bastogne-Liège, 261 kilometers. Plenty of undulation, including the climbs at the end. This is definitely one of the fun ones on the calendar. My team's not quite built for the punchy races, but we did do well last time out. We'll see what we can do this time. In terms of requirements, LBL it's up there. It's one of the top two of the year in terms of star ratings, and we need a top 10 overall. Top 10 should be manageable. But much more than that will certainly be a challenge. So let's see what we can do. We've got Mader, Bennett, McNulty, Philipsen, Barta, Evenepoel, and Gottwald. So we've got plenty of guys that can climb a bit and handle the long-term undulation. And then all but one of them has pretty solid hill ratings, and Philipsen being that only one who doesn't. And he's certainly got some sprint capability, but he won't be around there at the end. So Philipsen going to work for a change. Philipsen is here for the sponsor bonus for having riders present of the nation that are of high reputation. Now, the first half of this still undulates, but not as much. Actually, the first almost 2/3, or at least 60% anyway. So I'll go ahead and bypass that first 60% of the race, and we'll pick up with that back at least third, maybe 2/5. Weather has turned sour just as we're heading into the difficult section of the race. First up is a 3-kilometer climb. It's one of the longer ones of the race. A lot of very short, very steep climbs on relatively skinny roads. We're going to see a number of splits in the peloton that are based more on gaps opening than they are on actual fatigue. In fact, look who's somehow been caught out, Evenepoel, who was protecting another rider. So he wasn't even, and he's not tired, and yet he's somehow caught out and left behind.
The gap is widening. It's now over 2 minutes. The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Looks like he probably will regain contact here, most likely. Weather's settled down a little bit, and there you go. Evenepoel is back. Let's get him, or not, or is, or not, or is, or not. Okay, he's coming back to the front. We're heading into the biggest climb now of the race. This road is wide enough. It's 4 kilometers in length. Half a K worth of climbing, 6.4% average gradient. And that's a fairly hefty climb, and you can see the pace we're working. I mean, I've got my guys set to an 84. They're almost all blinking red, so they are definitely going backwards. Bennett has a real chance today. He's got an amazing +4 condition, but he's just not that great of a pure climber. You can see he's got a 78 on his hills rating for today as we get over the top. So we've reached our highest elevation. We've gone over the biggest climb, right? So everything gets a little easier from here, with the exception being the pace. And speaking of the rest of the way to go, we're down to 64 kilometers. So my last time to get water is coming up here in just a moment. And then it's going to come down to who's going to go get it. Probably Gino Mader again. He's been the one getting the water the 2 previous times. The breakaway group is 7 riders. They were allowed to get about a 7-minute lead. It's now down to 3 minutes, so they don't look to be a big threat for the day. We've got a little bit of a gap here. Hopefully Mader can get water and get back relatively soon, but he waited a while to step back, so I have a feeling he might be still on his way back up as we go over this next little climb, and then probably make his way back to the group. Ooh, hello, that was a crash. Jan Hurt in it, Leonard Kamna in it, so those two, they'll there's no way they're coming back at this point, even though there's still 53 kilometers to go. I don't think they have any chance of coming back. Unlike most races, we're already racing relatively hard by now. Though things seem to have sat up all of a sudden, haven't they? Pace not quite there. And before we get over the climb, Gino Mater finished that job and got water to the whole group. 77 left in the peloton. Oh, God, no. Gosh, if you had no luck, if you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck at all. Puncture to follow up that crash. Now, Philipsen's nearly done. Mater's nearly done. Evenepoel's nearly done. So the guys on the protection duty for the others, guys that are normally team leaders today, working for their teammates. And they've put a good turn in, but with 40K to go, all three of them are getting pretty dang tired. Redoute, 9.9% average, and there's a little 20% section near the top. Dang. It's a good time to also step this up a little. No, not 71. Come on, I hate when it does that. Go 86. We've got to make sure we don't get dropped here. Whole team still at the front for now, but obviously these guys are going to start to slip back. Here goes Mater, goes Philipsen. 40 left in the peloton, so half the peloton is left behind. Another little uphill section. I think this is going to divide it just a little bit further. Not classified, but it'll do just enough damage. The front group is down to 6 riders. They lost one of them. It's already been caught up by the field. And they're down to a minute 40 on their lead. Now you can see them for the first time. We ride with Gino Mater as the back group regains contact, at least momentarily. You can see right here where Mater is where that split off happened. So those guys actually didn't make it back on. So 43 now chasing the break. The breakaway is down to a minute 18. It's going to be a little while before we get into the next climb. So there's a little bit of chance for some recovery here. And then we've got 3 climbs left. Philipsen's group, yeah, these guys aren't coming back. They're done. So 43 riders duking it out. Philipsen's still here. We've got Gottwald and McNulty. Let's go ahead and use McNulty to protect Gottwald. Okay, gaps a minute. We'll catch those 6. Not much pace right now, though, but also we're getting late enough that we need to... We'll go 88.
And off he goes. He's giving it one last go.
Breakaway pulled back out 10 seconds, and they're also attacking each other now. I don't think we're going to have any problem catching those guys. But we'll see. Things have certainly settled down. The chase is not as hard or as fast right now. And we better catch those 6 because we're going to have our time getting those last 4 spots if those 6 win the break. Alright, here we go. 2.8 kilometers. Longest of the 3 climbs remaining. And we're seeing a big acceleration by Bakumolama, Julian Alaphilippe. Mataway looks like he's trying to go also. So it's time to convert this over to, let's see, is it going to be Bennett or Barta? Who's looking better? Barta's got the 80, so Barta following Bennett. Bennett following Gottwald. Gottwald's going to follow McNulty. Follow Evenepoel and Philipsen. Philipsen's only going to last a moment here, so we need to use him and Evenepoel use their gel.
Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace up front.
Okay, Evenepoel. You're supposed to be following Philipsen. You do realize that, right?
There are just 15 kilometers left.
Okay, well, Philipsen's done. It's now 12 at the front. Evenepoel's done. McNulty's turn. We're going to make sure we don't get dropped here. It looks like we have a group of 5 about to bridge that gap. So 6 have bridged across. Actually, there's might be a couple going back, so it might be about 8. So there's about 13 up there. We need to make sure we actually get in contact with those guys. Little acceleration, and then settle down. I don't want to go too hard, too fast. All right. Back in contact other than Alaphilippe and Malama. So ease off. We're here. Okay. I'm going to pull automatic. Alright, so we go over the top. 2 riders away. Less worried about them. And I am about anything else right now. We just want to control the pace for a little bit. 12K to go. Downhill coming. Sagan attacking. This is good pace for us. And then 2 steep climbs. Next one's the steepest. Final climb's not as bad. We want to keep our position near the front. That's why McNulty's still riding. Though we need to ride a little bit harder here. Across this little flat section so we don't get too far behind. We've got to be able to do something on that climb. Get Gottwald ready. 1.2K. Côte de Saint Nicolas. Okay, it's all back together. 25 riders. And McNulty's done.
And he moves on to the attack. It could be decisive.
That's 3 riders.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Now it's 22 riders. Oh, I was trying to slow it down and I ended up speeding it up. Okay, so Gottwald down to 4.2K. That's the penultimate climb, and it's all together. So we've got 3 guys for the final climb, and Barta looking real strong on his climbing ability, and Gottwald getting us to the front here as we go to turn the corner to make the final climb. Push just a hair harder here. You should gel. It's a little late for that now. Alright, here we go. Gottwald riding hard. 97, 98, 99. 1K to go. You're going to sprint what you have left. There you go. And you're going to sprint with what you have left.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first of the line today?
And you're both going to sprint. We got a top 10 for sure. Can it be a podium? Alaphilippe's got the win. Nobody could beat him, but Sean Bennett into second place ahead of Sam Oomen and Kostafoy. Falgren's 5th. William Barta, who we were trying to ride for, ends up 6th. Pudjakar. Then Jebo. Did I say it right this time? Lambrecht. Fuglsang. Mataway. Formalode. Kwiatkowski. Mahorich. Martin. Gottwald takes 16th. There's McNulty. He finished 21st. It's actually a pretty dang good result. We get another podium, far exceeding our top 10. And that really came down to everyone else was riding solo, attacking the climb, trying to get into that best position, but none of them having the ability, the pace left to sprint. I had Gottwald attack the climb earlier, which then left Bennett and Barta with still a fair amount of energy to then actually sprint for the finish. Sean Bennett was probably 10th and ended up moving up about 8 or 9 spots because he had that ability to sprint still to the end. Barta, same, but he was behind Bennett and ended up staying behind, and then that 1 bike length was the difference between 2nd and 6th. That was one of our major objectives, and we crushed it. The Giro is kind of the last chance for us to screw up our maximum evaluation for the year from the sponsor. So I think we're well on our way to knocking that one out of the park and doing what we need to do. Alaphilippe is just too strong. He's too OP. There's no way we're going to beat him, but we do beat out everybody else and get 2 guys into the top 10. Which might be enough to get us. It is. We were the only team with 3 riders left in the front group. Tour de Romandie is next. 6-stage race. Opens with a 7.5 kilometer time trial. Most of that race is something I will bypass, but that's a fun one. I mean, come on, a 7.5K time trial to start that race, that's worth it. That is worth it for me to at least participate in that stage. Before we get into that first stage, quick note, Alaphilippe has won the 3 Ardennes Classics together. Amstel Gold, La Flèche Wallonne, and LBL. So in just a week, he's won all 3 races. Holy cow, that is an incredible feat, game or not. We earned $16,000 for our second place and 3 riders in the top 16 finish there at LBL. Also, preparation of Dossiers coming out here really soon. In fact, tomorrow? There's not going to be much to do. Right, we've got every single rider coming back, and I really need to get closer to balancing our budget. But as we're seeing this month, we are, I think, well over the mark that we needed to have. Let's see, 18, 31, 34, 50, 58. 74,000. So 74,000, and our negative balance every month is 50 something. So we're 20,000 in the green to the good this month. And again, it looks like a number of months we will be able to manage that before the schedule dies down. Plus, we have the off-season acquisition of money that we'll get. Meaning, if we're going to earn 25,000 more next year per month than we earn now, I say we spend 25,000 more. Why not? Maybe we spend 30,000 more. We're more than breaking even for the year on a whole. And if next season is the final season before we get into PCM 20, we can afford to overspend a little bit. So I think we'll be looking at roughly 30,000 in spending, and that's going to be one top rider or a few support, like climbers or something. That could be very well where we're looking. I mean, we have, there you go, free in 2022. Alaphilippe's going to be available. That's somebody you'd pay, but I think he's probably making a lot more. Yeah, 166,000 per month. Jeez, we are not going to be anywhere near that kind of money. What about like a Sagan? What is he earning? 127,000 per month. Those guys are definitely out of reach. Vanderpool would be an incredible acquisition. He's down at 89,000, but you got to figure he's gone up a couple points since he started this contract. He was probably 76, 77 when he started this contract, meaning he's going to get paid a lot more than he's getting paid right now. What are, like, say, Wout van Aert is earning 103,000. We're getting not close. We're still not in the ballpark. 77, say a Kwiatkowski is earning 70,000. Mohoric, 33,000. So it looks like that's our range, is 76 or below. So we'll be looking at maybe like a Gegenhardt. Oof. Oh, now that would be somebody. Okay, this is somebody I would love to pick up. An 81 mountain rating. Hell yeah. And capable of doing some other things. But that support on the climbs, he paired with, a McNulty and a Venipol, would get us so much deeper into some of these GC events. There's a young guy. Hello. 23-year-old Sahin Umut. Earning nothing this last year. Now he'll need a big payday, but that's somebody I'm gonna actually, let's assign our scout now. And it's not gonna matter as much, right? Next year, it's not gonna matter as much at all, because we're gonna be at that point where it's a one and done. So development, not a big deal. Bjerg's gonna win some time trials, but he's not going to do enough for you otherwise, other than he can work on the flat for you. So I wouldn't go for somebody like him. Oh. But anyway, that's kind of our first thoughts into next season. Last warm-up race for a number of the guys that are going to be in the Giro. Sean Bennett has hit his fitness peak. Venipol and a number of other guys are close. Reason being, I want them to hit it within the Giro. So quick prologue style time trial. Technically anything over 5K technically is time trial and not prologue. But I mean, come on, 7K it's a prologue. 30K, 20K, those are time trials. Alright, Owen's going to be up first for us. So we'll quickly get to him. Got some rain here, and we've got a big uphill climb. How hard can we go? We'll try what a 75 does for us. For Owen, you got a little uphill downhill swing and save some energy from there. How does the 75 ride? He's 8th, he's a minute down, and it looks like 75 is definitely okay. He can go harder than 75. Now he's already inside the final kilometer. Push 88 to the finish here, the 99. Okay, 7th, minute and a half behind. Not a great time. You want to keep that balance throughout, but we've already had Thomas Garrett, Geraint Thomas, Sepp Kuss, TJ Van Garderen have all gone already. So a lot of number 2s on teams have come right out the box and kind of set the tempo that will be followed. For us, that's going to be McNulty. So 75 was too soft. We're going to try 77 for McNulty. See if that's something we can maintain consistently on such a short prologue. So you gotta save some of it for that ending. Now he's 5th, 19 seconds down. That's pretty good as the rain goes to kick off again. So if you could push about an 80 through here. Yeah, 77's still a little soft. Looks like we can go a little bit harder than that. 99 to the finish. Gain some time. 3rd, 11 seconds behind. Okay, it's a good time. Could be better, but we're getting closer to managing the right pace. He definitely still had energy at the end. I think we can go 79 or even an 80 possibly, as Mather sets off. Let's see what happens if we go 80. Time trial champion for the U.S., but he's on a negative race day condition today. Okay, he's got that little bit of energy to spare, so 80 is looking pretty good so far. I mean, it's steeper at the top, so you've got to have some energy to spare. It's just 25 seconds off the pace at the checkpoint, and the 80 is just about right, it looks like. Though he's going to run out a little early, isn't he? Just before the finish. Yeah, he drops off with about 50 meters to go. So 79.80 is the right place to be. He's a minute 4 behind, but he lost a little bit right there at the end. Sam Uman now on top over Ivan Sosa. This isn't coming down to time trial ratings really at all because it's about climbing ability. So what are we doing? 79 for Genometer. He's a 75 on the climbing. Now, almost the whole thing is an uphill swing other than the first, 1 kilometer? (23rd), 32 seconds down for Mater. Really hard to balance. McNulty's still in the top 10 and only 24 seconds behind, but it's Wilco Kelderman now on top. And 79's holding out, and it looks like just barely. Yeah, 79's good. Okay, 79 is good. 47 seconds off. Not a great time, but Mater's also not a great climber. But energy consumption-wise, 79 was just about perfect. He was able to attack the final 30 meters and gain a few seconds, but otherwise it was consistent and set him up. So there you go. 79 is the desired effort level. Got well. Let's try it again. He's a 74 mountain rating, so he should have a similar time to Mater. 30 seconds behind. See him flying past Banachek and attacking the final few meters. 23rd, 47 seconds down. Same time as Gino Mater. McNulty slipped 1 spot to 10th, but he's still in the top 10. Top 6 are all big names. And here we go, Bennett coming. Bennett, not a great climber, so he's going to be down. He'll be one of our slowest. He's actually running low on energy because he doesn't climb as well. 68th, minute 38 behind. Still better than Owen, where we went too slow out the box. Kelderman's 15 minutes and 9 seconds is still the time to beat. And here we go. Our favorite team leader. Great mountain and time trial rating, so he's going to be strong throughout, but he's on a -1 race day condition. The prologue part does hurt him for this because that's the majority of what he does this first 1.5K. So he was a 74 there, so really he was about a 74.5 overall rating for that section before he gets into the climb, so that will hurt his time a little bit. George Bennett now on top of the leaderboard, 15:07. We're 15 seconds behind at the first check. But Evenepoel looking really good on the energy here for the final 1.5 kilometers. Let's see how quickly we're gaining on, I think that was Paddy Bevan. It is. 13th, 16 seconds down is all we were able to manage. In fact, he's only 2 spots ahead of McNulty, but there's a 10-second difference between them. Evenepoel is 1 second away from 11th. Whoa, Carapaz just smashed the timing charts. Stefan Kung, who would be a favorite, but he'll be well down. Lopez will have a good time. Second, 12 seconds. And he was the #1 wearing jersey. So Carapaz wins the stage comfortably Oh boy, he was on fire on that climb. Lopez 13 seconds down to Mulan 14, and then Bennett, Landa, Kelderman, Sivikov, Uman, Sosa, and Kruiswijk. We don't crack the top 10, but we've got 2 guys in the top 20 that are close enough. Carapaz, though, starts with a decent advantage in this race. 1st of May, into the Dossiers. Lopez already has 100% interest. Probably going to be way out of our price range, though. Coming down a little bit lower, Michael Matthews likes us. Wouldn't be a bad pickup, but I'd rather have... we've already got Philipsen, so we're already capable in the sprint, even though he can do a little bit more punch than Philipsen can. Higuita would be a nice pickup. Actually, would be an excellent pickup at the age and already capability. But I think he's at a 77 going to be out of our price range most likely. But it's only 3 points, actually. So let's go ahead and start with Higuita. We have Ito would be cheap and likes us. But again, with that sprinter thing, so I'll pass on that. Sepfem Mark. Possibility Tishmanut would be a decent pickup. Kwiatkowski I would love to get, but we'll pass there. Because I think the 76s are really where we need to be investing our time and effort. So who to get? Gegenhardt, as we just talked about moments ago, is certainly would be one of my favorites to pick up. Kruiswijk could be a decent pickup, but the interest isn't that high. Umit, Sahin, if we get him early, maybe. We've got the points. Dan Martin. Hills and mountains and resistance. And the interest is already pretty high. And it's only 3 points. Might as well. For that. Tunison, already high interest and only 2 points. Go for that. Gross-Schartner. A good pickup. Dennis Momens. Cobble rating. Stamina, nothing else. Okay. Bakamolama, 34. Yeah, no, that's okay. We'll pass. Yanin Zagira. Could be. George Bennett's probably going to be a little bit better. Yeah, 79. Okay, we'll look at George Bennett. 6 points left. Oh, Janssen, 1 point. But what's Janssen going to do for... He could provide support in the classics. Make us stronger there. It's one of our stronger areas. Back up. Podjakar. A 78 hill with a 76 mountain. Podjakar could be a strong acquisition, but it's 5 points. We only have 6 left. Back up to the 76s for a second. Shadi Contreras. 76 mountain. 75 time trial. Fairly weak. Okay, Martinez. Martinez and 3 points. That's a support climber right there for you. 3 points. Fazio, we need Bao, Izagira, they're all 3 points. Izagira might be. Bilbao's a bit more balanced, but he's probably going to want more pay than Izagira will. So maybe we go with Jan Izagira. Or we go with Janssen and his 1 point. That would give us 2 points more. Maybe Rudy Millard. Pretty dang balanced. Yeah, let's go with Izagira. Alright, so all of them have at least moderate interest except Sahin. They're all 75 to 77 range, giving us a little more strength, a little more balance heading into next season, and most of them would cost we're only going to get 1 or 2 riders kind of thing, but be a step in the right direction. That's all the time that I have for this one, so that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, everybody. Be safe out there. 5,000. Nice. Bye for now.